warned about this, right? I'm hoping Larry warned you a little bit.
No, we met Larry. We got it when we met him.
Yeah. Okay, good. All right, just making sure.
Yeah, he's one of us. All right. All right, so and I'm gonna switch to the Lord's intro in 1, 3, 2, 1.
Guys, games, and beer.
Live from the 6th subfloor basement of the Guys, Games, and Beer Tower, it's America's favorite drunken gaming podcast, the one that kills the hipsters. Guys, Games, and Beer!
Yeah!
Hooray and stuff.
And stuff. All right.
And now that I'm on the wrong cam, we're going to have a hard time getting into...
I'm still okay with this camera,
Really?
actually. It's kind of a good profile of me, actually. You know, I'm looking.
It is. You look very
I'm
handsome.
looking kind of handsome. Wow, I love you too.
No problem. I was gonna say,
I'm thinking I look pretty good on that profile. Yeah,
you're looking regal.
Thank you so much. I thought I was looking pretty good in that profile. All right, so switch to the other camera before we start beer court.
Actually, I'm just going to start.
Start beer court.
Ba-dum-bum!
Ba-da-bum-bum.
Ba-dum-bum-bum-bum-ba-da-da. Beer court.
All right. So tonight for beer court, I picked up something from our buddies over at Lakefront Brewery. As you guys know, we really like our Lakefront beers. This is something I picked out especially for Rob because he's been on an IPA kick
Hello,
lately.
Lionheart. Sorry, I have to do that.
Oh, no. Hey, guys! Okay, so we, show them the nice schedule we have put on the wall so people watching the show can see their schedule.
Yes.
So this is a beer from our buddies over at Lakefront Brewery in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. This is their S-Hop Single Hop IPA made exclusively with Denali hops. That's an interesting approach. I mean, I don't know if I've ever had a true single hop IPA before. I mean, we've done a lot of beers, but most of them use some kind of mix of hops.
I'm sure if there's been a couple, they probably just don't advertise it specifically for that.
Well, you know, I'm thinking probably less than you think.
Well, I'm sure, that's what I mean. There probably has been at least one or two.
So I don't see any detailed description of the beer here, just that it is a single hop. I do kind of like the logo that came up with it. It looks like a wrench, and it says S-Hop or Shop. So it's got a really nice, and they've actually done a nice job on the artwork. Again, Lakefront Brewery really does a good job on pretty much everything they do. I don't think we've ever had a loser from them. So let's give this a try and see what we think.
The fact that Lakefront Brewery has never actually lost a beer court has nothing to do with the big bunches of goodies that they send us on a weekly basis, nor the big pounds of cash that are sent to Tom's hidden bank account.
Lakefront Brewery, if you're listening, anytime now, you can start with those big bundles of goodies. Speaking of which,
cash,
one of our listeners in Texas is sending us some stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys keep cash. They can just send me all the
Ninja
delicious
Gamer!
beer.
Yeah. Hey, Ninja Gamer! All right.
So I want to say something. As
something.
someone who is not an IPA guy, this is yet another one that I actually don't mind. Like, you can taste the damn hops, but there's no bite on that at all.
No,
it's smooth as hell.
This is really smooth for an IPA. I'm really digging this.
I taste a little. I definitely taste pine in there.
Well, the Denali hop.
Me?
No, that's the Denali hop. That's a piney, not a more citrusy. It's a pretty.
Damn.
You know, it is a northern hop.
I would agree with you on that.
That's
one.
real smooth.
I'm not a IPA person either, but yeah,
You drink this, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
This is really impressive, guys.
This is yet
I
another
like this a
decent
lot.
IPA. We gotta stop this. We gotta get some crap IPAs again. People are.
No, I gotta say, I am more than mildly impressed with this. And again, I'm not a big IPA drinker. I will drink IPAs, but you know me. Again, lagers and pills. But this, I could drink this quite nicely. Again, I think also a good hot weather beer, good summer beer.
Yeah.
It's again that little bit of hoppiness afterwards really cuts through everything.
Yep. It's nice and light feeling.
Yeah.
No, I really enjoy this.
Damn. Yeah, this is really good. Okay, so we have a small jury tonight, but jury, let's pass verdict on this. Oh, this is a big ass thumbs up. I mean, this is really good. So, guys, I have to say, we can strongly recommend the single hop or shop Denali Indian Pale Ale from Lakefront Brewery. This is really, really good. Again, these guys usually, I don't think they've ever had an absolute loser. They've got a couple of mixed reviews, but this one, solid straight up. Even if you're not a big IPA drinker, try this one. I think it may not change your mind on IPAs, but I think you'll find it quite drinkable.
Oh, I think so too.
All right, Judge Rob, pass verdict on this beer.
Charge 1, hopping like a legless schoolgirl. Actually, a one-legged schoolgirl. Guilty.
One-legged is good.
Can't get away.
Jesus.
Charge 2, Rob.
I don't know if I have much else to say. I'm pining away in your jail cell. I can't think of anything because that just was awesome. I sentence you to drinking! Order in the court.
All right, so Rob, what is the real reason we are gathered here this evening?
Well, today we have got guests with us, and our guests are
Sam?
And Glenn.
And we're from Runaway Parade Games, and our game Fire Tower is up on Kickstarter right now.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, so we are going to talk a lot about that today. So today was the first day of your Kickstarter, and do you want to tell us what happened on the first day of your Kickstarter?
Exceeded all our expectations, and we're really excited and grateful to everyone who backed. We funded in 2 hours, and we just, while we were talking to you guys, we just broke into 300 backers.
Oh!
Congrats!
What's funny is I looked to see if it was up yet so we could post it this morning. And
Yeah, we weren't up directly. We were up around 10 o'clock. Is when
right.
we finally
I get into my office at about 7, and I went searching for it, didn't find it, and said, "Well, I'll post it up later." And you guys are already done.
It's funny because
I mean, not done. This isn't done. Feel free to buy more copies.
Yes.
You can buy as many copies as you want for as long as you want.
I recommend 2 or 3.
I did the same thing because I don't know much about the game. I was like, all right, let me pull this up while I was at work, and I was like, oh, I thought it was already done, like a Kickstarter that's already over, not realizing because it was already funded.
Yeah, man, what the heck is that? I wonder if that's a record of some kind. I'm sure there's some that have funded that fast, but I know some bigger companies have not made that.
Yeah, it haven't even come close to that kind of...
Even when they don't have like crazy huge funding goals.
Yeah. So, let's start out. What is Fire Tower?
So Fire Tower is the one and only competitive forest fire fighting game. So I don't know if you've ever played a forest fire board game before, but generally you're working together to
Dozens.
keep back the flames. You're trying to stop the fire, but not in Fire Tower. You're actively trying to spread the fire towards your opponents and burn down their fire towers while saving yourself.
Okay, so I'm going to ask the obvious question. Firefighting game. Or specifically, forest firefighting game.
Yes.
Do one of you have a background in?
No.
No, we don't have a background in it. I have a lot of friends who are, work on the volunteer firefighting department at home, and I was a little afraid when I first approached them, saying like, "Oh, what do you guys think of this theme?" And they looked at me like, "Well, what do you think?" They're like, "Why do you think I became a firefighter? I like to watch things burn and then put them out." And like, in this game, I actually get to control the fire. Like being able to control the fire is my dream. So
Makes sense.
That went over well with them, which we felt really that felt good. I was a little nervous about that.
Okay, then where does the inspiration for this particular game come from?
I think that what we wanted to do was come up with a game where you're fighting against the game just as much as you're fighting against each other. We love the idea of fire. But also, both of us grew up in, more rural areas. Sam grew up near a state park. I grew up in a log cabin in the middle of the woods. Like, we think of trees. It's like the first thing we think of. So having a forest for a game board seemed like a natural choice. Burning it down, I don't know what that says about us. But
we got
Who is trying to buzz us in on this?
Larry, but I gotta drag him.
Okay, so hang on just a second. Drunken Larry may be joining us, and something tells me he will be drunk. So here's the thing, guys. So Larry sets up this interview with these guys, and we're thinking, oh great, Larry set up an interview with these guys. We are all set to go. And then Larry comes in late to the show. Larry, where have you been?
Hey.
Hey, Larry.
Hold on a second.
So
we're gonna drag you
in.
in.
The villages.
I gotta go.
Hold on, we're gonna drag Larry into this too. So Larry originally met you at the what show was it? The Philadelphia
They
show?
can't hear you yet.
Oh, okay. Hold on a second.
It says call on hold.
1 second, guys. Sorry, we are dragging extra people in.
We are. Hold on, can I just...
Like usual, Larry's dragging the show down.
Yeah, Larry. Geez, even when you're not here, you manage to delay the show.
Hold on.
How did I manage to leave?
Oh, no, not you, Larry.
Oh, fine.
Let's see.
I always want your meat, Tom.
I know you do.
Why does this not work the way I want it to?
Okay, do they know we're still going?
Yeah.
All right, good.
Hold on a second. We're gonna get Larry in on the call.
Cool. Glad you guys are back.
Sorry about
Otherwise,
that.
we can just rotate between the two of them forever. Where is my console? Boy, I love Skype.
Skype is
Okay, just 1 second. We try to drag Larry in here. I'd say we'd fix this
Reason why I
in
use
post, but
Discord.
you know something? No, we won't fix this in post.
Hold on, I'm gonna just drag Larry over. Wait, Larry.
Yeah.
Larry.
Once I found out about Discord having a voice channel, I say goodbye to Skype.
I can't. Corporate environments.
Mm-hmm.
Hooray!
Yeah, we use Skype for business too.
Yep, I do you too. We're gonna talk about this. Is welcome to Skype talk with the guys.
We
here.
don't- We're not allowed anything that has a camera. Where I'm in.
Gee, I wonder why.
That one nudity.
Yeah,
that's
that
good.
one incident. All right,
I gotta message Larry. Hold on.
All right.
Is he on his phone?
I bet you he is. And that's
He
why
did say he was lost in the villages.
All right. Hold on, I must.
I was gonna say how much you bet he's on his way here.
He probably is. We got. You guys just go right ahead. I'm gonna try and get.
All right, we'll keep going on this while you're going. Okay, so getting back to where we were at before, Larry so rudely interrupted us.
Damn it, Larry.
I know this happens all the time. So, well, God, now he's derailed me completely on this. This is why we love Larry. So,
Hey,
Larry,
brought us all together.
exactly. Larry originally met you at the what game show was it? I think it was in Philly.
Yeah, too many games.
Too many games. That's it. Thank you. Yeah. So that looks like quite a nice event.
Oh, it's so good.
So we love these indie game festivals like that. Was that the first place you had? Now at that point, had you already? Because Larry didn't fill us in much. Hence the reason we were trying to get him on Skype. At that point, had you already had a working copy of this game going?
Yeah, we'd been to a couple conventions, but we've made a lot of changes since then.
Yeah, and that was the largest one we'd been to at that point. That was the first one where we rolled up, and there was so many people waiting out front that we felt kind of outmatched by the crowd, and we were almost like, what are we doing here? It was so that was definitely like broke that boundary of that getting into one of the giant conventions where the noise just is endless.
They also. Well, they had, it was the first time we went to one with video games too, which is a really awesome, when there's video games and board games, a much more energetic sort of feel that way. So
Yeah.
It was really fun to see. There was wrestling going on behind
Behind us,
us.
yeah, there's this constant
What?
slamming in the background, but we couldn't leave the table for a while, so we didn't know what it was. And eventually, we had to ask someone who was walking by, what is that slamming sound?
Yeah.
And there was cosplay wrestling going on in the background.
It's funny
That
when
sounds
you
awesome.
can't leave your booth, so you're like, what is going on? But yeah, it sounded amazing.
So from even before that one, so that show was almost a year ago now. What's your development time been on this?
I think we're closing in on 3 years that we've been working on it, and then showing it at convention since February 2017. So a long time.
Yeah, you guys have got some time in on this one.
Yeah. Well, there were some people today that when we put up the project, they said, I've been waiting over a year for this to come out. And we're like, yeah, sorry, it took us a little while. But
That's why Larry got so excited about it, because he talked to you at the Philadelphia show, Too Many
Right.
Games, and then, it was like, well, all of a sudden, hey, they're doing their Kickstart, I need to, so, yeah, it's kind of nice when you finally get to that stage. Going to ask you a little bit about, 3 years to get it in development, or get it where you're happy with the way the gameplay is.
yeah.
And conventions like that, doing those shows are really a good way to test your gameplay out. Did you do a lot of debugging at those shows?
Yeah, I mean, I think we played it thousands of times at these conventions. We both played the game thousands of times and watched people play at the convention. It's really helpful. Yeah, just people with different perspectives. A lot of the best things that came out of the game were suggestions from people who play tested it at the early conventions and even some of the later ones. So yeah, we're indebted to everyone who helped us with that, and they were able to give us good advice while also having fun at the same time.
Yeah, it's nice, especially the people that really love games, and especially friends like I can think of Corey Joseph, like the people who like to break the rules and make them their bitch. Like they will be at those conventions, so they're the ones you want to play.
I was just about to bring that up. I like going to the Nexus Game Fair and playing games that people are just coming out with right then and there. And then going, okay, now that I understand the rules, let's play this again. I'm going to see if I can break your game. And I had one person actually go up to me and go, okay, thank you, but also, fuck you. You did something that I didn't think was possible, that was mean, but thank you.
Yep.
No, did you guys run into that kind of situation where you were doing play testing and somebody did something so unexpected that you had to go, oh, we have to fix that?
More in some ways, yeah. Sometimes that did happen. Sometimes they would do something that I didn't even realize was like actually a good strategy to help you win, and they beat me at my own game the first time they played it by utilizing this new. Usually it would be like another designer. They'd be like, oh, I see that you can do this, and I would kind of nod along, trying to act like, oh, of course, I designed that into the game on purpose.
Yeah.
Yes, I did design that.
On purpose, yeah. So 3 years in development. Have you guys done any other game development besides Fire Tower?
No, this is the first one, and that's also part of the reason that this is the first one we've taken to this degree, I should say. And that's part of the reason that it took us so long is we're also building a business, we're getting social media following, we're, meeting all these people for the first time, so many designers and stuff. We have like 8 other games that we're so excited to work on, but...
Yeah, they're all screaming like prisoners on the shelf in little plastic bags, waiting to get out. So yeah, once we have Fire Tower fulfilled into everyone, like we're hoping to dive into those and bring those to life as well.
Now, question about that is, now were these just games that, as people who play games and enjoy games, you've like had ideas for already going in, or was it after you started developing the game, you started having other ideas for games as well?
It definitely accelerates the process.
Okay.
As soon as you're designing, it's almost like as soon as we got this game to a point, like the thoughts started intruding. Like, oh, you know what would be a great game? Every time we're driving in between conventions, that's what we're talking about, because it's really the only downtime we have these days. But we'll be like, oh yeah, we should make a game of this. We should make a game of this. And then we get back to the house and we're like, all right, we got to shelve that and not talk about that for a while and focus on this other one.
All right.
Also, you play so many other, we hadn't really played so many other people's games. Like, of course, played the big ones, always grew up playing board games, but going to all these events where there's other indie designers, you're like constantly playing and giving feedback. So inevitably you get all these ideas and you're like, can I apply this to Fire Tower? No, but maybe the next game.
Yeah.
So there are more games that will be coming down the pike in the not too distant future, I assume.
Yes, hopefully.
All right. Well, we'll definitely talk more about that in just a bit. Let's get back to Fire Tower. All right. So let's go. So we have a general idea. You're trying to burn down your opponent's Fire Tower. Give us a quick rundown of how the game would go. A round of the game would go.
So basically, one of the main mechanics in the game is the wind. It's like an unrelenting natural force that's always pushing the fire forward, and players can actually control it with action card. And at the start of every player's turn, they have to add one more fire gem to the board in the direction of the current wind. So the fire is constantly growing out from there, and you're kind of trying to direct that to get it away from yourself, while at the same time as playing action cards to add fire to the board, remove fire, and also build defenses to block its path.
That's genius, I tell you.
Yeah, I like the randomness of that because, again, it goes the direction of the wind. So you may be trying to gang up on one particular player, but the wind may not be cooperating with you and blowing you towards somebody who was, quote-unquote, your ally at that point.
Yeah, the shifting alliances are a lot of fun. Someone will be like, well, I just saved you the last turn. You're like, well, I burned you down because the wind changed and it was convenient for me.
Yeah, didn't mean to. The wind was going your direction. Sorry, I took advantage of it.
Yeah, there's always plausible deniability. People literally say that every convention we go to, they're like, yeah, it was the wind. It was like, oh, sorry, Mom, I burned down your tower. It was the wind.
Yeah.
No one ever really buys the excuse though.
Well, yeah, but hey, at least, like you said, plausible deniability. You go with what you can on that.
Hey, I think we got Larry on the line.
Larry, are you on the show now?
I see his face.
No, Larry is not on the show.
Larry, turn off your camera. For God's sake, you're on a phone. He is smiling.
At least he's smiling, guys. You know, he's out in your neck of the woods this week, and so it's like, when I say he's out in your neck of the woods, that means he's wandering aimlessly around that area. If you do see him, if you see him, we've tattooed his name and address on his butt. Just put him in the UPS box and send him back to us, okay?
It happens all the time.
Monthly basis.
Yeah.
Cannot tell you how many times you open up a crate, there's Larry's butt. Stick it straight up. So, oh, God. All right. So this game hit its main goal within 2 hours. I have not taken a look at your stretch goals yet. I assume you're going to be adding some new stretch goals?
Yeah, we've hit a few stretch goals. We've got, some that are better components, just better cards and like a linen finish, that type of thing. And then now we're starting to add some stuff that we think is, extra components and things like that we're really excited about.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the playing board because you've just talked about the components. Love the look of everything. It really has a really nice finished look already. How many iterations of that did you go through?
There's quite a few of that. And that's the funny thing launching this now. All the people who have interacted us with different conventions, they saw different points of its inception and its birth. So they're like, oh my God, that changed or this changed. But yeah, the original one was just a giant piece of cardboard poster with little pirate tokens for golden coins for the fire and other things. And our friends were like, "What is this? It takes up my entire dining room table." We made it like 6 feet long. I don't know why we thought we needed to board it eventually.
Then for a long time, we're like, I just can't picture it any smaller than this 6 foot board. I don't know. You have to walk around to make a move.
So
I think that's
come
okay.
a long way from there.
it certainly looks like it. So
Real quick. I just want to say I really like the game and I'm glad you guys are on the show. I plan to be a backer.
Thanks,
So-
Larry.
Hey, they already made it, Larry.
yeah, Larry, you're a little late on this, dude.
No, you can still back them.
Yeah, but Larry, go for the really good premium when you do.
And so I gotta get going here. I gotta get on a subway.
You didn't try to call us from the subway, really?
Yeah.
Evidently he did. Larry called you from the subway. Larry really wanted to talk to you this evening.
And that is Larry Davis, roving reporter for Guys, Games, and Beer, putting his life on the line.
All right.
All right, talk to you later.
Bye, Larry.
Bye. We love
Okay,
you.
so getting back down to
Bye, Larry.
So at the end of the day, so there's a lot of good services nowadays when you're starting up a card company or a game company. Can I ask who you guys ended up going with?
For printing, you mean?
Yeah, for your actual. Once you gave them the design, who did all your printing and your construction?
Oh yeah, for the prototypes.
Yes.
Yeah, we went with Game Crafter.
Yes.
Yeah, they're awesome. They're so incredibly easy to work with, and they just do a great job. So, if it wasn't for the Game Crafter, I'm not sure we ever would have taken it to the next step. It was partly that we had a game and then we could make it, and it looked good, and then we could take it places and people could actually play a real thing. That changed everything for us. So, we're very grateful to them.
Game Crafter does an amazing job. We do an event in the fall, and Game Crafter sponsors it. And just seeing the stuff they put out, quality-wise, and their ability to work with people who are doing one-ofs, two-ofs, for play testing and so on is just phenomenal.
Yeah, it really lowers the bar for entry into getting into the design world. And I don't know, people always ask us, they're like, where did you get it? Like, I'm an aspiring game designer, I've got a game, and we're always directing them, like, you got to get it at the Game Crafter. You can get it quick, you can get it at like an amazing price. You can't even believe the price you can get your prototype at. And when they leave, they're like, well, I'm going to go, upload my files that I have, and I'm going to order this as well.
Yeah, the tools that have been available for whether it's video games or board games that have become available for like indie developers, is just amazing, and it has really led to like a lot of the creativity and expansion of all of it in general.
It gives people an ability to be more creative, spend more time doing that instead of just trying to figure out the logistics of all this.
Exactly.
And that's what you need sometimes. You need that,
the logistics taken care of by someone else.
Yes.
You mean kind of like the show, huh?
Yeah.
Wait, there are any logistics to this show? Come on.
Yeah.
So
I can't think of one.
you said you got to.
You have to show up here.
Bringing it back around. So what got me into this is, again, you start talking about doing like the linen finish cards and things like that. Are you thinking, and better pieces and so on? Are you thinking maybe a bigger board for? Again, the board is really cool. 6 foot might have been a bit extreme, but I could actually see having that on a larger board.
I do want to do we live in Brooklyn, so we'll go to the local park and make a giant fire tower board. That's kind of been our dream for a long time, but
okay, that would be cool.
In terms of printing, I'm not sure.
Oh yeah, because if you could get this into the giant 3D version, like they do at some conventions, the giant Settlers of Catan, where you are actually having to put out like things that are the size of a settlement.
Real
the size
fire.
Of a spear.
No, not real fire. No time.
No real
No
fire.
time. No real fire.
The next thing you hear is somebody burned down Prospect Park playing Fire Tower.
Worth it.
Local indie game design company blamed for 30 injuries.
Exactly. Yeah. No.
They do say there is absolutely no bad advertising.
No. That's
You
bad
got a market
advertising.
in a country that lacks safety
That is
regulations.
bad
Problem solved.
advertising. All right.
Just saying.
So the stretch goals we talked about. You've got again some. So how many of your stretch goals have you met today? I didn't even check back on that. When I saw you guys already reached funding in 2 hours, I stopped checking. How many stretch goals did you reach today?
We got the linen finish on all the cards. We upgraded the quality of the cards, making them thicker and more resistant. And we also added. We've been playtesting for a while now a new card that we want to add to the game, but we need to add the art to it too. So that card is called the Ember, and it gives you some more options for moving gems around the board. And it's the only card in the game that when you discard it, it also has an ability to take 2. So when you're cycling cards, if you include that one, it can add a little kicker to it. So we're pretty excited to add that card as well.
All right. No, that was but that was a stretch goal, so that won't come with the basic set. That was something.
Everything we do for stretch goals, we're gonna do for everybody.
Oh, all right.
Damn.
Well, that's nice.
That is very nice.
That is very nice.
Oh.
I have been a person that on Kickstarter didn't have the money to kickstart the game, but knew I was going to be getting the game, and then had to figure out, okay, how do I get the Kickstarter stuff now?
Yeah, I think. One of the things that Sam's doing is he's got some experience in woodworking, so he's handcrafting wooden buckets for a limited number of games. So if you get in on time, there's I think just a few left now that you can get with the handcrafted wooden buckets, and we might add more if he can manage to do it.
Wow. Okay.
In terms of, and so that's the only thing that would only be with the Kickstarter, and depending on how things go, we might change that. But I don't, sometimes you miss a Kickstarter and you want to get the whole thing, like you just didn't see it or whatever. We don't want to exclude anybody from the experience of Fire Tower or the best version of it because they didn't happen to go online for a certain time or whatever. So
That's actually a really good thought, because again, like Jacob was saying, very often you just miss the beginning of it, and then it's like, well, geez, I really wish I would have gotten that. And like you said, sometimes you just don't have the time to get on a Kickstarter. I mean, we all have day jobs, and
We do?
Shh, Rob. They're not supposed to know that. That we just sit around. We literally just sit around in this room. This is it. Drinking. People wander in and out. The beer just keeps coming.
We built the studio, so we never had to leave.
That's
That
right.
was the whole-
That was the whole thing. It is.
There's actually no door.
we tried that. It ended up being kind of a mess afterwards. we won't even go there. All
Yeah,
right.
I still have the I still
Yeah,
have the shredded paper in the corner.
I mean, you still have your own handcrafted bucket.
Yes, I do have a handcrafted bucket. Thank you very much.
All right. So I'm going to have you say it once. We're going to have to say it at the end of the show. So right now, your Kickstarter is at where?
Double. It doubled.
It's not like we've checked it at all.
Oh, well, we just did. It evidently doubled.
It looks, no.
Yeah, it's double.
Right now we're at 16,800 with 303 backers.
Do you know that I... That's funny. You got one backer while I was just... That is hilarious.
So again, congratulations on that. That is, it's cool to see a game that, again, something very different by the looks of it from what we've seen. I cannot wait to give it a try, needless to say. I did not have the luxury of making it out to too many games, but a couple of our listeners did and have already commented that they met you guys there and loved the game.
That's so sweet.
Talking to you, Puyan, Pieman.
Tyrone.
Yeah.
It's like Tyrone,
so...
but Pyrone.
Pyron.
So again, so some of our people actually got a chance to play your game yet. I have not yet, but I'm sure a couple of us will probably pick up the Kickstarter, and I'm sure I will get a chance to in the not
We've
too
talked
distant
about
future.
it 2 or 3 different times now.
Yeah. So looking forward to that. It's
so much.
So much. That means a
well,
lot.
it's the cool thing is I like board games like this. I'm not a big card game player. There's some card games I'll play. I'm a bit bigger on the board games. And that brings me to my thing about board games, are the game mechanics. Now, because I haven't had a chance, I've just had a chance to watch your video online and haven't had a chance to actually try the game mechanics. I'm a big one on mechanics. The art looks cool on your game, and I love the art and what you've done with that. It's kind of, it's a good, a good straightforward look on the board game. Did you find a lot of problem doing the mechanics, or did the mechanics come kind of naturally?
The mechanics in a lot of ways kind of came naturally. We studied a giant firefighter glossary that had a whole bunch of terms, and using those terms, we were actually tried to meld the mechanics to the actual thing itself. So the mechanics, they came pretty quickly, but then refining them took a long time and getting the balance perfect and making sure that certain cards didn't overpower others. And we really wanted to make it that, each card allows you to take a specific pattern, whether you're adding fire or removing it or adding defenses, they all have a unique pattern that all have their own tactical advantages. So it's always trying to figure out the best way to use the card and the best moment to use it. And you only get one card per turn, so that decision is pretty pivotal each turn.
That's what you want in mechanics. Not only, again, limiting people to very often you find people go too far on the mechanics and they make it overly complicated, where it's I'm going to turn this card, I'm going to tap this, and I'm going to hit this resource, and 20 cards you're into that turn, you're still going, yeah, anytime you can finish this turn, so maybe I can get in the game for a minute or two. Keeping it a little simpler like that, I find game flow wise makes the game flow a little easier. Keeps people from having to sit around 30 minutes while somebody waits to do a turn, Larry.
Right.
With a card that he shoved up his freaking sleeve,
yeah.
Larry.
Larry cheats.
Now you guys are disparaging him because he's gone.
Of course we are. He's not on the show.
He's not within hitting distance.
Exactly it.
Like that would stop us.
All right. Point well taken on that too. So again, keep the mechanics kind of simple like that. Again, I cannot wait to try that. I'm a big one on the mechanics of a game. I mean, art can make a big difference, and we've had some beautiful games that played just unbelievably bad. So we've had some games that's oh my god, this game is gorgeous, and then you start playing and it's wow, this just doesn't run smoothly.
I have to say that is the saddest thing as a fellow board game lover, is having a beautiful looking game and then just being how do I play you? Or I'm so frustrated at how I play you that I want to just put this up as a nice mural or something to look at.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That's when you just frame it.
No, we've got more than a few games we've tested that pretty much just ended up being a really nice addition to the bookshelf.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
It does happen.
So.
Big thing for us is like, I mean, I'm just like you said, I love board games. I've been playing them since the day I was born, but I just can't stand waiting for someone to take their turn. So the idea of like a multi-part turn, love the idea, love it when it's my turn, but I want to somehow be involved when other people are doing it. So like the more interactivity, like the more I care about what somebody else is doing, and the faster the faster each turn goes, the better. Which is why we didn't do like play 2 cards or have this longer turn. It's like when Sam and I play a game of Fire Tower, it takes how long, Sam?
I don't know. I think we've gotten to the point where we can finish. I mean, no one else does. I mean, we're also veterans at this point. But I don't know. We can finish a game in like 4 to 8 minutes if we're really going.
Yeah, speed gaming, and I love it that way. That's like when you're always playing, you're always involved. Yeah, that's the perfect game.
I was buried in social media. Did we cover how many players?
2 to 4.
Correct. And you correct.
Correct. Wow, that's really good that you told that. They know
right about your own game. You can tell I was totally in social media mode. Correct. All right, sorry about that.
No, it's okay.
Now there's a 1 versus 1 face-off. There's 2 versus 2 teams. You can do teams, or else you can do a free-for-all.
Yeah, we wanted to add the teams because some people, although like the way we built this game is it does. In the 4-player free-for-all, it does have player elimination, but we have engineered it that it wraps up pretty quick because as each player goes out, there's this thing called the firestorm, which accelerates the expansion of the fire. So as people come out, the forest just becomes more and more treacherous. So by the time it's down to 2 players, it's raging, and it usually will wrap up in sometimes a few seconds to a few minutes after the first tower goes out. But if people really loathe player elimination, we have the team. If they don't like it, they got the team variant where you play with someone diagonally across from you, and you have to burn down both of your opponent's towers, and you stay in the game and keep taking your turn even if your tower goes down. You just move over to your
I like it. Me too.
We had a few people who like loved playing the game, but then at the end of it, they're like, actually, I'm feeling kind of hurt by my friends that burned me down. I was like, well, you can always try the team version. It's a little less brutal, but I personally love the brutal version.
I'm going to burn your crap down.
Yeah.
I'm literally going to burn you alive.
Yeah, no problem.
Hey, there are some games that you play just because you want to do that.
Most games I play with people, I want to do that.
You're talking to Tyler. Come on.
But it's a board game, not real life.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well,
We'll use the board game as kindling. It's fine.
Yeah. No, don't use your copy of Fire Tower as kindling, people.
Fine, I'll bring my own, Tom.
Oh, yeah, bring your own kindling. Okay, so again, and again, our users already. You've got a couple backers just who are online tonight who are really excited about this. So good to see.
that is true.
We're
Somebody
really grateful to everyone who came out and supported us today. I mean, we're beyond blown away by the response and how much everyone's been getting the word out. It's just, I don't know, it's really meaningful, and I don't know. I don't know. Now I'm sounding emotional, but yeah, no, it's been a crazy ride, and that.
And it's just day 1.
Pyron just told us that he set a phone alarm for it.
That is dedication.
That is dedication for a Kickstarter. Okay. All right.
Awesome.
That's a true fan right there.
So if other of our listeners want to find this game, where can they find this game right now?
Well, it's up on Kickstarter. They can go to our Facebook page, Runaway Parade, and there's links to it everywhere. And then, or they can go to runawayparade.com.
Our website, and there's a link there, or just if you type in Fire Tower Kickstarter, at this point, the link is showing up on the Google search results now.
Excellent. And we will make sure to have links to all of those on this video, as well as on our podcast page, so make sure you check out our page. That was really nice. Jacob's sitting here doing the Vanna White pose for the links.
I don't know if you can.
Which we totally don't ever post edit.
We don't. Yeah, again, you're talking like if we actually.
However, down in the description,
there will be all these links. So make sure to check out the description and check out this game. It looks really good. I want to thank again. Parade Games for being on. Let's try that again. A Runaway Parade. Thank you for being on the show this evening. And one more time, this is
Sam
And Glenn.
Who wrote this amazing game. Larry had a chance to try it out. Came back. talked about this
he
game.
raved about it.
Yeah, talked about this game since then. We were lucky enough to get them on the show today, and they have had just a runaway hit on Kickstarter tonight. Make sure to check it out. We will again have links on the regular podcast when this drops on Thursday or Friday. Rob, why don't you?
So much, guys.
Thank you so much.
Why don't you go ahead and take us out, Rob?
All right. Well, let me tell you, we have got a couple things to announce. What the heck? We've got Lionheart on the 25th. That's tomorrow. If you're live right now at 9:30 p.m. CST with a 37-lap race.
Wow.
Live on iRacing Live.
All right. Cool. So check them out
provide a link up on our
tomorrow
website.
night.
If you absolutely have to get yourself some Fire Tower, there's a link down below this podcast. Even if you're not listening live, you live viewers have it down in your little chat window right now.
Right, and pick up
all
all those
the
really
chats.
cool buckets.
Yeah, ask for a bucket. Do that.
Yeah.
I want to
Get a bucket.
Get the bucket.
You can. Oh God! If you want to listen to more of this, and why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? You can go on iTunes. You can go on all the podcast aggregators. We're on every one. There's even a radio station in Mexico no, it's Brazil.
It's Brazil.
That plays us live for some unexplained reason. Probably because they don't understand English. I'm gonna guess is the thing.
I'm
about
gonna guess you're right.
Hola!
www.guysgamesandbeer.net. Don't forget, on Facebook, we're chatting all the time. If you want to get in communication with us, that's a great way to do it. www.facebook.com/guysgamesandbeer. We have on Twitter. On Twitter.
On Twitter.
On Twitter, game giveaways at Guys Games Beer Win. Tom is feeling very,
You know what?
very
I'm,
giving.
I'm feeling given. So guess what? Pick us up tomorrow. If you're watching us live right now, you get first crack at it. I will give away an indie game tomorrow. So keep an eye on the Twitter feed.
Finally, if you need to email us for something, got a question or a comment that you absolutely have to share, it is, of course, comments at guysgamesandbeer.net. In fact, you can say I'm drunk at guysgamesandbeer.net. You could feasibly say kill Larry at guysgamesandbeer.net. And you can...
Wow! That elevated quickly.
I love when he's out of here because I can just pick on him so bad without him cracking me up. I'm like, look at it. Completely straight face.
Straight face.
All right. Thank you very much for watching Guys, Games, and Beer, and thank you, guests, for coming on.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye all! All right, guys, so this show will